Hey guys, so what we're going to be looking at today is we're going to program like a program that runs in Java. So this program is called the palindrome program. What we're going to do in this program is the program will take a number as an input and it will tell you if the number is a palindrome or not. Now, what is a palindrome? A palindrome number is like 121, for example. Now 121 reads the same way when you go from right to left or left to right. 121, 121. Now that's a palindrome. Palindromes exist in even in words, in sentences. Today's program we are going to look at how to check if a given number is a palindrome or not. Now we're going to be checking this using the while loop. Now if you are not clear what's the while loop in Java, please do click on the I button on the top right or check on the link in the comment section to go to that video. Please do not go any further in this video, because once you know how does the while loop work in detail, then only you'll be able to understand. So pause this video, go to that video, watch it and then come back here. Although that video has lot of things on conditional statements and looping, you can look at the whole video, or you can just look at what's the while loop and what's the syntax and how does it work and all of that. So for this, first we look at what is the logic behind this program in Paint 3D, and then I'll go on to write the program in Java in Notepad, and then we'll see how it works and all. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign four variables. So let's take the number 121 itself. Now A I'll assign to be 121, B to be 0, C to be 0, D to be 0. We'll try to formulate the palindrome of A, like the reverse of A, using B, C and D, and then we'll check if the form number which we have formed and A are equal. So first what we are going to do is we are going to assign D to A. So now once we have done this, so what we're going to do is first we'll write a while loop, and the conditional statement in there is that a should not be equal to 0. So the while loop will run until this condition is satisfied. So what is in the while loop is we're going to say let C be equal to A percentage 10. Okay, now hope everyone knows what's a percentage sign. A percentage is like getting the remainder of the division of A by 10. So for example, 15 percentage 10 works like 15 modulus 10, which is 5. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do this, B equal to B times 10 plus C, and the next statement is A division equal to what is A plus plus or B plus plus, the increment operator and the decrement operator. So you can write A plus plus to be same as, so you can write A plus plus to be the same as A plus equal to 1. Now what is that is writing it as A is equal to A plus 1. So similarly when you write this statement, what it means is you're saying A is equal to A divided by 10. You might ask me, like when you look at the number 121, when you divide it by 10 you will get a decimal answer 12.1 or something. So that's why initially what you're going to say is the data types for all these four integers A, B, C and D is int. So if you divide 121 by 10 you will get only 12. Only the integer part will be taken. So let's look at this example of 121. So what first C does is, so C will be A modulus 10, which is 1. B will be 0 into 10, which is 0, because B is initialized to be 0, plus C, which will be 1. a is equal to a divided by 10, which is 12. Now it will again go to the while loop and check, is a not equal to 0? It is true, so it will again run the while loop. Now what do we see? C will be equal to a modulus 10. Now a is 12, so 12 modulus 10 is 2, that will be stored. Now next, b is equal to b times 10 plus c. B is 1, so 1 times 10 is 10 plus c is 2, so it will be 12. Now next will be a is equal to a divided by 10. A is 12 divided by 10 is 1. Now it will go to check again, is a not equal to 0? That is true, so it will run again. So what will be c is equal to a modulus 10. So 1 modulus 10 is 1. 12 times 10 is 120 because b is 12 plus c is 121. So 121, and then a is a divided by 10, which is 0. And then it will go to the while loop, it will check it again, it is false in this case, so it will come out of the while loop. Now after the while loop, what we are going to do is, we have generated the integer, the palindrome of that integer, the reverse form, and we have stored that integer already in d. So d is already equal to 121, and we have stored it in b also, the palindrome, and then we'll check if b and d are equal. If it is equal, then we'll return the 121 is a palindrome. If it is not, we'll say it is not. Now explain it to you again. So this time what we are going to do is, so okay, now that might have seemed a bit odd, and some might have got it, some might not have. So if you have got it, please do skip and go ahead and see the Java program that I've written. If you have not got it completely, please do stick around. I'll explain it to you how it will work if the number given is not a palindrome. So for now, I'll take the number a to be 123. Let's say b is equal to 0, c equal to 0, d equal to 0. I'm doing the same thing, just that I'm changing the number. So a I'm changing to 121. Now I do the same thing, I initialize d to be a, so which means d is equal to 123. Now I'll do the same while loop. So what will c value? First it will check 123 not equal to 0, that's true, so it will go inside the while loop. C equal to a modulus 10 will give me 3. Now we'll do b is equal to 0, b is 0, so 0 into 10, 0 plus c 3, again b equal to 3, a equal to a divided by 10, which is 123 divided by 10 is 12. Just we'll be taking only the integer part, which is also called as the floor value, so we'll take only the integer part. Now it will go again to the while loop, it will check if the statement is true. It is true because 12 is not equal to 0, and again we will do c is equal to 12 modulus 10, which is 2, and then b is equal to b times 10 plus 3. B is 3, so 3 times 10 30, 30 plus 3 is 32. A is equal to a model a divided by 10, 12 divided by 10 is 1, and then it will go to the loop, check it again, 1 is not equal to 0, yeah, that's true, so c is equal to a modulus 10, c is 1 modulus 10 is 1, b is equal to b times 10 plus c, 32 into 10, 320 plus c, 321. Now a is equal to a divided by 10, which is 0. I will again check the loop, it is false, so it will come out of the loop, and then what we are going to do is, we are going to check if the b value, which is 321, equal to the d value. It is not true. Previously also we did the same, it was true. Now if you see, the number is completely reversed. You can use the same logic except for the outside the while loop logic to reverse a number, for example, if ever you need it in any program. So this is how the palindrome function works. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to write this code in Java and we will see what is the output. So I have a folder called Java, and then I'll open the notepad, I'll write it in a class called palindrome. Now we'll do the if statements, the conditional statements. So if statement and else statement, first we'll check if the reversed integer which is returned is it the same as the original integer? I'll save this code. I have a Java folder. I'll save it with the same name I've given to the class file. So palindrome.java. Hope everything is right. Now we'll run the command. We'll run the code in command prompt using the keywords javac space palindrome.java. There's no error in the code. Now we'll run java palindrome. So first we have to give it an input. So I'll give it 121. 121 is a palindrome. Now I'll run the code again. Input, I'll give it as 123. 123 is not a palindrome. So this is how you write the palindrome function. Although you can use a for loop and write it instead of the while loop, but I prefer the while loop. If you want to know the code by using the for loop, please leave a comment below. I'll make another video on that soon. Thank you.